Just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Now Hall to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
He does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. This defense for the Commanders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
What we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. Called out a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
To the 43, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This pass hauled in by Dotson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there of 22.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week,
touchdown, Cowboys! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Yeah.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Over the middle, it's complete. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Here's Gibson on the read option. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Buying time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. Kicking into a headwind here in the 2nd quarter. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll look to throw here. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on it, and they pick up a first down.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Hall again. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
They're going to look to throw.
That's Gallup on the slant. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll set up a throw. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Breece Hall with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Lawrence. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And it's caught. Touchdown. CeeDee Lamb from 19 yards away. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's the loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 35-yard line.
Second and 11. He finds his man complete. It's Parks.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt, then you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense, because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down and 6.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Lawrence to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that, to end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hall on a give up the middle. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Greedy Williams picks it off.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Lawrence dancing to his left.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Lawrence going to keep it again.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On second down, a run with Hall.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He'll look to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence
steps away to it, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
On 3rd down, Lawrence
Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw here.
Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Open man Lamb. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 13-yard line.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Koo knocks this one through the post,
and that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, third quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Once more, Gibson.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Washington on 3rd down.
They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Lawrence. Got an open man. Finds Gibson.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Lawrence will throw.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Let's go.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, a 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead's down to 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here's Gallup getting it on the jet sweep.
It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time,
How about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout, and that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Here's a give to Hall. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 69 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
That certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
Micah Parsons getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Lawrence.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
A handoff for Hall. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him.
Lawrence hit, and the ball is free. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they take a knee. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Dallas, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they'll fall to 1-1. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.